There's joy in the heavens, a smile on the mountains, and melody sings everywhere. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. Leave home in the sunshine, dance through a meadow, or sit by a stream and just be. The lilt of the water will gather your worries and carry them down to the sea. The lilt of the water will gather your worries and carry them down to the sea. Men hunger for freedom, but don't see their dungeon is only the thought that they're bound. Desires are their shackles, the hope that tomorrow the doorway to joy will be found. Desires are their shackles, the hope that tomorrow the doorway to joy will be found. There's joy all around us, why wait till tomorrow? We've only this moment to live. A heaven within us is ours for the finding, a freedom no riches can give. A heaven within us is ours for the finding, a freedom no riches can give. There's joy in the heavens, a smile on the mountains, and melody sings everywhere. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air.
Closing the circuit, giving the energy back to him, because it's only then that he can continue. This is again what we're talking about, what I was talking about in May. Closing the circuit, giving energy back so more can be given to you. And as you do that, this is how a dynamo works. The wheel turns and generates more and more and more electricity. And so as you give energy to God by loving Him, by appreciating what he does for you, even the smallest thing, then He's able to give more back to you. And as you keep giving it back, more and more comes until finally you become a completely empty vessel for the transmission of these blessings to all men. The way with other people too is to give back to them whatever little bit they put out to you. Give it back, and more will come. You'll draw as you give. This was the point that I tried to get across, and I think successfully, in San Francisco a few weeks ago, back in April, before I went to Europe, and I had everybody at Ananda House come up and bless me. I said, I've blessed all of you for many years, but I would like you to bless me now. I feel this is something that we should do to one another, not necessarily in a formal way, but every time we look at them, bless them, pray for one another, wish each other well, wish each other healing on all levels, physical, mental, spiritual. There's a lot of that kind of consciousness here now, so I'm not really trying to scold you. What I'm trying to do is merely make more dynamic to your awareness a virtue that I have observed a great deal.
Welcome again to everyone. This is such a special time. You can feel it in the air. You can feel everyone is so happy and uplifted and tuning more inwardly, perhaps, to the truer meaning of this wonderful time of Diwali, of light over darkness, of goodness over evil, and such a special moment to really think about holidays in general and why we celebrate. What is the purpose? What is the meaning? What is the best way to celebrate? And before I came to Ananda, I did what everybody else did around me and shopped and went to social events, and I didn't think much about what the holiday meant, or I certainly didn't go within to try to feel any inner meaning for my own life and blessings in my own life. And then when I went to Ananda, I realized there was so much more happening that I was missing in the special holidays of the year. We have surely many holidays in India, as I've seen. We have some in America and worldwide. But I started to, when I got to Ananda and with Swamiji and all the Guru Bhais there, I saw there was such a deeper meaning to these special times. And I began to celebrate them in a spiritual way, in a deeper way, in an inner way. And I remember for Christmas, when in America, which is the biggest holiday, people, hardly anybody was thinking of the true meaning of the birth of Jesus and the inner birth of the Christ consciousness within yourself. I mean, there was a very few people who even had any idea about that or what it meant. But at Ananda and through Master, we celebrated that holiday as the most special time of the whole year, an inner celebration, the 8-hour Christmas meditation on the Christ consciousness. This was completely different from anything I ever knew about that holiday. But what a joy, what a blessing to feel what it really meant and to experience that consciousness within myself. And you all have practiced that, have done that here in the Christmas meditations. And then I remember one Christmas here in India, we were here with Swamiji at the beginning. And I think it was for me, it was my first Christmas here. And we were all kind of, upset a bit because we didn't have the usual rituals, the usual things that we liked, and outward celebrations and the gifts and the Christmas tree and our friends around. And we were with Swamiji, I think it was Christmas Eve, and he was feeling unwell. Maybe some of you were there. It was at his house in Guru Kripa. And we could tell he was unwell, so no one said anything. We were sitting with him in this living room. And then at a certain point, someone said, well, Swamiji, can we sing some of your songs and your Christmas songs? And he said, yes. But he didn't hardly say anything before that. So we began to sing just spontaneously some of his songs, and you could feel they're so beautiful and they're so uplifting. The energy was uplifted in the room. And then sometime after that, Swamiji began to talk. It began to talk about Master and the Christmas times with Master and how they would celebrate and how special that was. And he talked about Master for an hour and a half, I believe it was. It was a long time. And he was feeling more and more joyful and more uplifted and less held down by his body. And the whole room was almost levitating. We were all just so uplifted by just his presence and the presence in the room. God was there. Master was there. It felt like to all of us, Christ was there. And I remember leaving that room and leaving Swamiji's house, and we were all very quiet. And I thought, now that's the real Christmas, when Christ comes to you, when Master comes and blesses you. And I think for a Diwali, if we say this, the real Diwali is when I feel in my heart God's love, God's light, the Master's blessing me to be able to be a light in this world myself. And this is a very important time to just meditate on the light within. And I was recalling for New Year's how, everybody parties and does, I won't even name all the things that go on. But in a spiritual way at Ananda, I remember my first New Year's time was a long meditation. It wasn't 8 hours, but it was 2, 3 hours. Meditate through 12 o'clock, then into the new year, and to start the new year in a spiritual way, and chanting to God, meditating, reading scriptures. And what a different way to celebrate holidays. And Easter was the same. And many of the holidays here we celebrate and chant, at various times over during the year, and meditate and read the stories of the saints and the masters and have that time together. This is for a devotee and a disciple and one who's seeking God. It's important to spend time spiritually as well, and as during the holiday time. And so at Ananda, and here as well, not just in the early days in America, but I'm thinking more of that time just so people can understand how important it is. So those holiday times, all of them, wherever one, except for the strange ones like Halloween, which nobody celebrates, devotees there. But those holidays, we would have a special meditation, long meditation to start the day or going into the new year, whichever one it was. All of us gathering together, calling on God and gurus. And we would have typically a community meal. People would come together during the day sometime and have some special meal together and share. And then Swamiji would speak about the meaning, the significance of the holiday. And there would be music, there'd be a choir singing some of the songs, and Swamiji would, and in a light way. It depended on the holiday though. If it was Thanksgiving or sometime like that, depending on the holiday, he would read a story of his choice to all of us. And then later we would go maybe to friends' home for tea or go out for a walk with our friends. There would maybe be gift exchange depending on the holiday again, or giving gifts and a Divine Mother gift to others. And but there was always a sacredness. That's the point. There wasn't just a going out and you don't know what's going on and you're following everybody and you're completely out of your center. There was always a pulling back and a reminder that God is the only reality, really. And through every holiday we have, to remember that God is behind that saint, God is behind that master, God is behind the idea of that that holiday, and to bring God into it. And so how would you celebrate in this time of Diwali? I would say first and foremost, go to one of the centers if you can. If you can't, be online and celebrate with your Guru Bhais, because that will be a special, sacred, spiritual celebration. I know here in Gurgaon, we're going to have a very special time together. And we're after the meditation and chanting and the satsang and all, we'll have a special prasad together. And we'll spend time together. Spend time with your Guru Bhais as much as you can on the holiday. And then maybe you want to have your own individual meditation, be a little bit longer that day, where you feel the master's blessings with you. And there's something very beautiful you can do in that regard. You can offer yourself as you do your Kriya or Hangsa or whatever meditation, to offer yourself, and then to bring master's blessings, God's blessings. Just feel they're just filling you with love, filling you with light, filling you with joy. And then offer anything you want to release. This is what it means by cleaning your house, painting your house, putting lights up. It really, honestly, it's really inner. Clean inside of yourself. Let the light shine of your soul and be in contact with God. And then also have this social time with your friends, with your family. But as you uplift yourself before that, you go into those celebrations, the social times with the higher consciousness. Whatever gift you give give the gift of love. Give the gift of blessing, like Swamiji was saying, give blessings, give master's vibrations, give love, give light to all people around you. If there are people who are serving in your home or the guard or the driver, whatever, just give some gift from your heart. Even if you want to give money, you want to give dried fruits or whatever, that's fine. But behind it all, give kindness, give love, give light, give goodness, give blessings from God. And even sometimes I give things to people. I'll tell the person who's gifting it who's going from the house, I say, tell them that this is from my guru, Paramhansa Yogananda. And as you feel, but give it in a way that's, oh, I got to buy a present for this person because he's my boss, and oh, that's my teacher, I have to get them a present. You're racing around and you haven't added the main ingredient. In this time, add the main ingredient of God's love and feel that God is in you, is in them, is in this special time, and you will find that it's a glorious time as you can go within and experience that yourself and share it with all whom you meet. God bless you and happy Diwali to all of you. Now ask Nitendra to come on screen now, so we have a couple of questions.
Thank you, Dhyana ji. I'll just share the list of questions. The first question, Dhyana ji, is that there are family members and friends who are very social during the holidays, and I get pulled in that energy. So how can I keep a bit more inward and not lose my center, especially in these times?
Yeah, families, it's just the way it is. I remember growing up and it was Christmas time, and our family, we always have the Christmas tree and tons of presents all wrapped. And, then there was Santa Claus, who you didn't know who that was, but you were happy he existed when you were a little child. And I just remember, I just had no thought about anything but getting down to that tree and just breaking open those boxes and seeing the new bike or the skates or the ball or whatever it was. But a lot of adults are like that. They just have no thought about anything but the food or the party or the new outfit or whatever it is. But as you've been meditating over some time, months or years, you're already more centered than most people who don't meditate at all. Isn't that true? Or don't have any spiritual practice, don't have any centeredness within themselves. And so be assured that you have something already within you that's going to keep you more centered. And just the best thing is the morning of, have a good meditation. Do more kriyas that day. Do the Om technique longer. Pray more. It's so beautiful when you can really make contact with Master, with God and gurus, when you can really make contact. Now that's very different than going through your kriyas and looking at your watch, and try to really make contact. Call very deeply and just try to look through the spiritual eye to see, call Master, I know you're there. I know you behind the darkness. I'm calling to you try to make that contact. And when you make that contact, really, you don't care what's going on around you. I mean, you participate, but you're not pulled out of yourself. Like Swamiji talked about Rajasi Janakananda, and he very rarely even talked. He was just so deeply inside himself. And there are people, you know, in our path who are like that, just very inward, not withdrawn, but just inside. And try to be that way a little bit, at least. Be a bit detached. You don't want to let go of everything. As long as you're going up like that, you're going to come down. So just try to be more in yourself, in the self rather, and pull back a little bit. So morning, meditate, read something from Master, maybe hear a talk of Master or Swamiji. Get to the center or online for the celebration, whatever it is, maybe chant, you know, prepare, and shall I add another word? Protect yourself. Because you can be pulled out so easily. And then I know someone was telling me recently that they were at a party and, you know, everything, not a party, but, you know, this time, but, you know, there was some drinking going on and they didn't even drink, but suddenly they found themselves with a glass in their hand, you know, and this is how it happens. And then the next day you go, what on earth was I doing? And also just ask Master, protect me, be with me today. I want to be in an uplifted consciousness. I don't want to let my energy drop. Help me. And you will find that you get in a situation like that, and I've been in those situations where there was something that was wrong in that environment. And I just felt a deep pain in my heart, not the physical heart, but in the heart center. And I felt like Master saying, get out. Don't be there. Why are you there? And so if you ask him to help you, he will. And God, thank God that he's there to help us. Other people have nobody to help them. They're just totally out there. And I remember when I was gone from Ananda for so long, 3 whole years. That's a long time to go away. And then finally, I could hear Master's voice, not the voice, but the vibration saying, go back to Ananda. And I did. I went for a weekend. And I thought it was like he was saying, you don't have to live there, just go back. I went back, and that was, you know, it was like a trick. I came back for a weekend and I ended up staying. You know, because they had community centers in the bigger cities then. And I was living in Los Angeles and in Palo Alto and San Francisco. So I moved into the ashram, but it took a long time. You start going and then you get diverted. There you're going, and then you go faster and faster and faster, and you're gone. So stick with people, stay with people who are strongly on the path, consult with them, talk with them, meditate with them, chant with them. Don't go on alone. I know we have that song, Go On Alone, Swamiji wrote, but he didn't mean to leave all your guru bhais. He was saying, if your people who you were with before don't want to go with you, leave them. Go on to God. And so it's important. People think, oh, I go anywhere, I'll be with anybody, I'll talk about anything, I'll listen to any kind of music, I'll watch any movies I want, and I'll go to any party I want. Well, I'll say 2 words to you: good luck. Try it. I have. It doesn't work. So Master's given a formula. He's holding us through that formula. He's helping us through that, the chanting, the meditation, the seva, the guru bhais, the center, the music, the talks, the everything, the books. Hang on. And as you do, you find, okay, I'm okay now. And, sometimes I've gone out, I had to have, I would wear a mala with on because I just felt like I need extra protection. You can do Om Tat Sat, the hands front and back, if you're going into an environment where there's a lot of worldly energy. Even the mall, it's like people are gone nuts. The shopping center, it's like it just what's happened? Everybody's going crazy. You don't have to be like that. Just you're a yogi now. Just be centered in yourself. You have to buy gifts, get the gifts, but don't, you can get caught up in that. Don't live like that. You're a yogi. You're a disciple of a great master. Live like that.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. And as I always say, thanks to Master that he asked you to come back to us.
Om Guru.
So Dhyanaji, as you were saying that there are a lot of holidays here in India. And the next question is that when there are so many holidays, then people just tend to be happy to have a day off and it just ends there sometimes. So how can I at least help my family to celebrate in a more spiritual manner?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I mean, you need a day off as well. So I can understand that. You can finally not have to get up early and race through the traffic, not race, but get through the traffic and get to your job and get back and through the traffic. And, it's difficult. So it's good to have a break. But also with your family, I mean, when I was at home with my family after leaving Ananda, I brought everything with me. I didn't just leave. So I brought the type of food we were eating, and I said, everybody's got to be a vegetarian now because I'm a vegetarian. I got these recipes, and and they didn't want to be a vegetarian. I said, now I'm going to be chanting every day. If you want to chant, come in and chant. My mother used to look at me like, oh God. And I've learned to meditate, and I want everybody in there meditating with me, and nobody came in there. And so what can you do? You do the best you can. Don't push people, but offer something. Maybe you're playing Om in the house in the background, Swamiji chanting Om. Maybe you start the day with the healing prayer with the family to send prayers to everybody who you know, or pick out some little thing. Maybe you play Swamiji's music during the day, but you can't force the relatives. As I've seen that myself. You can't force them. Just be an example of love and joy and caring yourself the best you can be. And sometimes it just doesn't work that well. You do your best, give the rest to God. And you're not their guru. I mean, really, are you their guru? No. Let them have their own karma. But try to insert some little thing that is enjoyable for them as well. Maybe bring them to the center. I mean, bring the kids, bring the parents. Everybody likes that vibration there, even if they don't even know what it's about. So that could help.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. One last question, Dhyanaji. You touched upon it, but what's the real purpose of giving gift? Because many people give because they feel that they are supposed to.
Yeah, now that's a good question, because I know it's part of the culture and tradition here, and it's lovely. I mean, I feel kind of badly that I don't give as many gifts as I get. I mean, it's like there's so many times of gift giving. But I think the purpose of the gift is, and certainly I do this, is the gift of friendship, the gift of divine love, the gift of blessings, the gift of giving joy to others. If you have a gift that you've bought, don't just wrap it up and give it to the person. There's no vibration behind it. Honestly, the best gifts I've had have nothing to do with the material thing. Has Master given you a gift? Yes. Did it have to do with anything material? No. The best gifts they're not in a package. But so you can give gifts, which we all do, to gift of prayer, praying for people, the gift of giving someone who's kind of down more inspiration, sending a thought, an word of encouragement on a WhatsApp message. These are wonderful gifts. If you give gifts on Diwali to others, which, I used to, because I didn't understand the customs, I just bought lots of presents. Anybody, give them a present. But I didn't have the right energy behind it. I didn't really understand it so much myself. But now I do what feels right instead of I have to. That person is my superior. I have to buy them a gift. And that's my relative. I have to go buy them a sari, Don't go that direction. Just if you need to give something, it should be really something that you want to give. You enjoy giving it. It's a joy to give. And the person's going to enjoy it. And you're giving it from your heart. Now, some of you in corporations, you have to give something. I know it. Just do the best you can. At least pray over the gifts, something. Don't just go by and then you send the person working in your house, you send them with the package. You don't even give it to the person yourself. So put some energy and vibration from your heart into it, caring or love or joy or light. And isn't that the reason behind the gift? I mean, I'm giving to you something from my heart. And this represents that. It's a symbol. Let it be a symbol, but fill it with what really should be there. Even if you don't have the symbol, fill it with God's love and joy. So I wish you all a wonderful Diwali. I won't see you on that day, many of you. Some of you I will. But I hope these words have helped you. And I hope and pray that Master visits you. That's the best gift for Diwali. The Master comes and he visits you and he blesses you. God bless.